Hello everybody, Adrian Plass here.
Yes, and Bridget, hello.
And here we are at number 113 of Sounding the Shallows. We've sounded a lot of shallows, haven't we?
Yes.
And this week, the usual mix of, I guess, of light and dark, but there's been a lot of love around in some ways, hasn't there?
There's been a lot of celebration and a lot of joy, actually, and not just thinking about the football, whether you like women's football or not, but the Commonwealth Games.
We got quite excited about it.
We
didn't
did, but the Commonwealth Games is something else, isn't it? Because they call them the friendly games, don't they? And I don't think I've ever seen quite so much joy in so many different sorts of people.
And it's incredibly well organised, this one.
It is.
Watching the faces of the people taking part, that even the smiles seem to be ready to use at the right times. The people who bring the little trays with the things.
You
put
love
around
that,
people's
don't
neck.
you?
Yeah, I think
Tell
it's
me
so
why
beautiful.
you find it so fascinating.
It's so the detail. It's the idea of having to run the whole of the games and then saying, "What about the lady who brings the tray with the thing to put around their necks?" Anyway, yes, there's a lot of good things.
I think one of the best things about it has been the mixture. I know lots of people think this really of the para games and the other games. So it really, you're watching victory over struggle, whether you're watching the best in the world or you're watching somebody who is trying to hold their body together or trying to keep a balance because they've only got one arm or whatever it is. You're still watching people pushing themselves beyond their normal boundaries.
It's made a difference, hasn't it, having the mixture like that?
I think so. I think it's been wonderful.
Really good. And the crowds are wonderful, aren't they?
Well, they're enjoying it so much. Yeah. I think the thing I've loved most, though, is the whole family and support thing.
Yeah. I
don't know what you think, but I think that for me has been the thing, really.
I've loved watching occasionally winners in all sorts of things running towards their family.
I know.
And it reminded me of when our daughter Kate was very little, and she used to come along the landing when she was tiny, holding a bear under her arm, and then sprint, and then jump into our bed and land between us and fall asleep within about 3 seconds. But that dive into your family, into the middle of them, was so sweet.
Yeah.
Not just the winners. I mean, gold, silver, bronze, personal best. Just being there has been good, I think.
But also, I reckon, being able, if you failed, one of the things that I found really hard, which was the really long distance race that we watched. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. But they were actually lapping people who were a whole lap or two whole laps behind.
Yeah, they were.
And I thought even those people are going to be looking up and seeing a pair of eyes or a little group of people, loving them, caring about them, longing to go and give them a hug and make it all better, really.
Being loved is so valuable, isn't it?
It's so valuable.
It's a very precious thing to take with you wherever you go.
Yeah.
To know your life. I know it's obvious, but it really is.
There's a couple of things that it got me thinking. And one of them is the bit before the Lord's Prayer where Jesus says, go into your room. And he says, talk to your Father. And your Father who knows what's done in secret will reward you. And I was thinking, these groups of people, family, friends, coaches, your team, they know what's done in secret. They know all the times you've got up at the swimmers up before anyone can get to the swimming pools, the runners out on roads, the kids doing their gymnastics again and again and again
over and over and over again. Yeah.
And nothing seen, nothing, and only a few people knowing what that sacrifice really means. And the reward for those people, but also being able to meet those eyes and know that you've done your best.
I suppose that's true in lots of areas of life, isn't it? That if you've got that behind you, you can survive most things. And I do feel so sad for those who, and we've known them because we've worked with people who come from very dysfunctional backgrounds, who've never quite believed that they are loved and supported, and makes it very difficult for some people to go into faith, doesn't it? Because they don't really know what it means even.
I'm sure that's true, Adrian, yeah. I'm sure there's lots of people who don't believe that the God who knows what's done in secret loves them enough to reward the effort, even though there might not be success at the end of it. And there's a song, and I was looking it up actually because it runs in my head a lot. It's well, the person who was singing it that we love was Eva Cassidy.
Yeah.
And it's a song called Time After Sometime. I think it was Cyndi Lauper. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Cyndi Lauper, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And the actual chorus of it it's amazing. I looked it up, so this is what it is, and this is, I think, applies to all those people taking part and their relationship. But it also it's what I feel about God, really. If you're lost, you can look, and you will find me time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting time after time. If you're lost, you can look, and you will find me time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting time after some time. And I just think that's, what the Bible tells us about God.
And it's so warm and familial, isn't it?
It is.
Some of the readings of the Bible are so somber and difficult to access. It's nice when you hear the emotions that are there in the teaching actually being lived out in words like that. I think it's marvellous. I really love that.
So what else has happened as if I didn't know?
Well, it's our 52nd wedding anniversary this week.
It is, yes.
And that's 52 lots of 52 months.
How many
weeks? I mean, weeks. Plus,
goodness sake.
Plus 2 years before that, when we knew each other before that. And we've been very fortunate, but it does make me think about the nature of love. And as we all know, we're all still waiting to find out what it was that Meatloaf wouldn't contemplate doing for love, even after promising to do anything.
I'm sure that everybody's thinking about Meatloaf.
I reckon it's putting the bins out. I think that's what it is. That's what he wouldn't.
That's very kind.
He wouldn't do. What else? Well, it was my birthday this week.
It is.
And I reached 74.
You did, and somebody emailed us to say even though it's 10 years after you were 64, they still love you.
Yes.
And they'll still send you flowers.
Yes, I know. It's lovely. You know, I had some nice, lovely messages from people. Really, really nice. I had a quote that arrived.
You had a card from your dog? Come on.
My dog, yeah, my dog. Our dog, I mean, Gracie, who's sitting here between us, actually. Gracie is. She's a dear dog. She sent me a card. She's a very talented dog. Sent me a card in which she said, "You are my favourite master." But actually, she says that to all the people in the family, doesn't she? So it was very nice of her to say it. But I don't think that's quite true.
Sorry, what was the quote that you were going to...
Oh, well, it was a slightly obscure one in a way, and the connection with love is not easy to see. It was Thomas Edison, who I haven't looked it up, but I mean, I would have said I knew exactly what Thomas Edison had done.
Light bulbs.
I think it's light bulbs and sound recording.
Full extent of my knowledge. Light bulbs.
The main point is that he did invent some very significant things, and those who are listening are probably already reaching for their Googles.
They probably already know, Adrian. They won't have forgotten like us.
But without doubt, this is the quote. This is a quote I've never heard before, and it just takes a little bit of thinking about. Thomas Edison said, "Many opportunities are lost because they appear to wear overalls and look like hard work." And I'll read it again. It's a little bit obscure. Many opportunities are lost because they appear to wear overalls and look like hard work. And I was thinking about our marriage, 52 years.
Oh, were you?
Well, I was going
to
ask you, does that sound like love as we know it over 52 years? I mean, has it been a sort of species of hard work?
You're asking me? No, seriously. Of course, sometimes it's been hard work. I mean, relationships are hard work sometimes, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
And trying to think of a comparison, really. We've just been in Yorkshire, haven't we? And you get those little narrow lanes, and you have to do a lot of stuff to get somewhere. Every now and then you have to back, which I hate doing, and give in. And smile, even though you don't want to give in.
Yeah.
You sometimes have to keep your temper, don't you?
Yeah, not make rude gestures.
Well, I don't do that, come on. But I do sometimes feel really fed up. And sometimes you get a sort of standoff. We've never had this, have we, Adrian, where you both think you've got the right of way. You both think you're right.
I've heard you say some very interesting things.
No, well, we're not going to talk about that.
But no, we won't talk about it. But the point about that, you're quite right. You have to adjust all the time.
All the time.
And decide whether you're going to be helpful, generous, go forward, go back, all those other things. So
give in, give way, and sometimes not. Sometimes stand your ground if you really feel you're in the right. Goodness me, there's a lot from Yorkshire Lanes. Yes, no, seriously, we've been the really. I don't know. We're good friends.
We've done very well, really, over this time. We've been very fortunate.
Yeah, we have.
And I was thinking Jesus wasn't very visibly lovey-dovey. I mean, he could be very tough and very gentle. And I'm so glad that the Gospels include his heart going out to the mother of the son who died, and
but people loved being with him.
Yeah, they
Come
did.
on,
They
obviously,
did, yeah.
obviously he was a pretty special, just as a person to be with. Otherwise, people wouldn't have wanted them at their parties. They wouldn't have hung on to him, walked with him, gone through some very strange things.
But perhaps the thing that put some people off him, and there's no doubt some people did just leave him, is that he never, as far as one can see, never let sentiment, a kind of shallow warmth, I suppose, get in the way of things that really, really needed to happen.
No, I think that's true.
And we both always loved the 1 Corinthians chapter that talks about love, and it appears in people's weddings, doesn't it?
It appears in all sorts of weddings, and Paul would be amazed. I mean, he was writing a letter to a church in Corinth that really needed to learn a bit about love.
Yeah, that's right.
A difficult place, very complex society there, a lot to learn. I think he would be amazed to hear it read by
might be pleased as well.
People
he might say
wearing fascinators on the side of their heads. Yes. And
he might say, that's one of mine, you know.
Yes, he might. Well, he might. Yes, he might ask for royalties. You never know.
Having said all that, it is a wonderful piece of writing, and people do get a bit sentimental about it, but actually, when you read it through piece by piece, that is a very tough piece of writing. Mm-hmm. And if you say this is how you live, well, good luck to you. It's tough. But what occurred to me is that if God is love, and if Paul was close to knowing the identity of God, then when we read that, we're reading what God is saying about love. And so I kind of turned it around. So it's God speaking and saying the same things with some additions on the going around and through the things that actually appear in that piece of writing. And I hope people don't think it's addition to Scripture. It's really another way of interpreting Scripture, I suppose. And I was trying to think of a title for it. It's certainly about love. I think what I thought would be a very good title was Love Hurts, because whether it's good or not, at some point there will be hurt to be overcome, and that's not just us, that's God as well, and that's what this piece that you're going to hear now is trying to say. So I hope you really appreciate it, and thank you for joining us this week. And we'll see.
So you're going to do it now, and so I'll say goodbye now, and I hope you enjoy what Adrian's just about to read.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. You all talk with the tongues of mankind, and some of you speak with the tongues of angels. Both of those are wonderful in their own way, but whichever tongue you use, no matter how humble or how impressive, if you don't have love, you are nothing. You are only an echoing gong, just a clanging cymbal, an empty noise. Even if you have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and you have the kind of faith that can move and bring down mountains, even then, if you don't have love, what are you? Nothing. You are nothing. Listen, if you were to give all you possess, all of it, sell the lot and give every single penny to the poor and surrender your body to all sorts of grinding hardship so that you can enjoy the respect and admiration of others, shall I tell you what you would gain? Nothing. If you do all those things and do not have love, you're wasting your time, because you gain nothing. Nothing. So, what is love? I am love. Love comes from me. It returns to me. It lives in me. Love is never wasted. I am never wasted. I am love. I am patient. I can wait. I can work. I can live, not without pain, but I can live with the grief and bewilderment of those who simply cannot see what lies at the end of the path they need to follow. They are very, very disappointed in me sometimes. I understand. I am patient. You must learn patience. Not easy, but for your own sake. You need it. I am kind. I truly am. I invented kind. I care so much about every fascinating little nook and cranny in each and every human story. My kindness is less visible and evident than many would wish, but I actually overflow with kindness. I really do. I am kind. Try it for yourself. I will top up any lack. Then you will be wholly kind. It can work wonders, literally. I do not envy. All I want is for my dream to come true, all safely home. I am not happy about anyone being lost, so I dream. I do not envy. Envy is hungry. It can consume your heart. By all means, never hesitate to tell me what you want, but please work hard to be satisfied with what I decide to give you. I do not boast, and I am not proud. What would that even mean? Who would I compare myself with? I created the universe. It would be utterly ridiculous for me to boast. Even so, I do hope you like and enjoy some of the stuff I've done. No, boasting would be ugly. Boasting is ugly. I do not boast, and I am not proud. Please be careful, be very careful, not to advertise your virtues and achievements. It is unattractive, and it drains value away like stale water from a sink. I do not dishonour others. There are some who injure and even crush other folk in this way. A few use my name when they do it. They are nothing to do with me. I lift. I do not put people down. I never dishonour others, nor should you. I am not self-seeking. Ask the angels. Ask my son. Ask the men who nailed him to a cross. They are here with me now. I am not self-seeking. Be the same. If you seek only for yourself, anything you gain will turn to ashes. I am not easily angered. Whatever small groups of cross people poring over Bibles might say, I am not easily angered. There is no pleasure for me in anger, not even, especially when it becomes necessary. Anger rarely helps. Kindness does, patience does, gentleness does. I can be angry, but I really am not easily angered. Ask me, and I will help to guide your anger, even make it useful when the need arises. I keep no record of wrongs. I could if I wanted. Of course I could. I don't want to. You are far better at doing this for yourselves and each other than I ever have been. You know, open belief in the healing of a soul can be the most powerful of self-fulfilling prophecies. Do it. I will support you. I promise you, I keep no record of wrongs. It can be difficult for you. I know that. But try to do the same. I really do not delight in evil. I hate it. I battle with evil. It threatens to destroy the people I love. Fight it with me. Together we can attack and smash through the gates of hell. Rescue some lost souls. I rejoice with the truth. I am the truth. Try it. Open your mind. Taste freedom. There may be a slight bitterness at first, but in the end it is sweet and perfect and very good for you. Behind the scenes, I always protect. You have no idea. I always trust, always hope, always persevere. Join me. I never fail, but here is a problem and a paradox. I am afraid that the road to success can be very dark and difficult. Guess what that road can look like at the worst and the best of times? I shall tell you. It can look exactly like failure, like crucifixion. Try to trust me. Cheer up. I promise that one day things will be different. There will be no need for prophecies. They will stop. Now there are all these different kinds of tongues. Then you won't hear them. At the moment you know a little, and you prophesy a little. When everything is worked out and completed, all the things you struggle with so much in this life will simply disappear. You will not need them. What a day that will be for all of us. Think about it like this. When you were a child, you talked like a child, you thought like a child, you reasoned like a child. When you become a man or a woman, you put the ways of childhood behind you. Or here's another way to think about it. For now, you can only see something that looks rather like a misty reflection in a mirror. But then, excitingly, you and I are going to see each other face to face. Imagine that. Suddenly, you will know everything precisely as it is. So, there we are. Never forget the three most important things. One is faith. Believe in me as much as you are able. Not always easy. The second is hope. Eyes up and hold your nerve. The last, the most crucial one, you already know. We're back where we started. Of course. It's love. Without love, you are nothing. Without me, you are nothing. Take my hand. Hang on. Whatever happens, I promise to do the same. Remember that wherever and whenever you see genuine love in action, however others may insist on labeling it, you will be seeing me. Come and be love with me. I need your help. I am love. We can be love.